Hello there and welcome back to Building the Boys. We have a new book nook. I was lucky enough to get a book nook for Christmas from my wife who feeds my addiction. This is let me think, sixth book nook in the Rolife range. It's the sixth one released. So we built all four from the 2022 collection. Those were Time Machine, Magic House, Secure Denture and Sunshine Town. We built all four of those. You can see them just over here. Those are all up on the channel, so if you're looking for those, you can find them on the channel with full tutorials, how to build them, more importantly, how to do the electrics. We've only built one of the 2023 releases, and that was Fall-In Secura. Beautiful, seriously underrated nook. It's an absolutely gorgeous nook. Again, that one does have a tutorial up on the channel, but I was gifted this one for Christmas by my wife, which is the Wonderland Garden. The Wonderland Garden house. I think it's absolutely lovely. So we're going to get this one open. Now, this is very different to the other ones that we've done because this looks more like the Rolife rooms. Now, that's not a bad thing by any means, but this looks more like a Rolife room than a book nook. So I'm interested to see how this one's going to go. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. We're going to put this one together. We'll go through certain stages. I'm not going to show you the entire build because this video would be 8 hours long if I did that. So we're going to go through stage by stage and check in and see how progress is going. I will go into detail about the light and little things you can do at the beginning to make sure that your bulbs are working, and how to wire these things, because I know a lot of people do tend to come unstuck because the wiring can be quite confusing. I don't know what the wiring's like in this one, but in the other ones, when it's black to yellow, red to white, grey to... It gets confusing. So we'll go through that step by step. Any other tricky bits that I come across whilst we're in here, we'll go through those as well. But I'm really looking forward to this one. So let's get it open. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, so I took the outer sleeve off. Let's look what we get inside our box. Now, these are normally very full, as is this one. Okay, let's see everything we get. So we've got sandpaper there. That's important. This is all sealed. So I can see we've got paper elements there. We've got all of our wooden boards, which are going to put this together. So that one down. Here's our instruction manual. Not a huge instruction manual. And then underneath we've got, I love Rolife's glue. I think it's fantastic, so I'm happy we've got some of that. We've got plastic elements for a chair there. That's interesting. Screwdriver, some screws, some metal elements there. That looks like a lampshade. More decorative details. That's interesting. Some wooden elements. That's going to be to build some shelves or something like that, I would imagine. I've got one of these. It's plastic piping. Our electrics. Now, how are the electrics in this one? Yep, these are electrics we're going to have to wire. I was kind of hoping they'd switch over to plug and play, because I know a lot of people are having problems, and you can get some ones you just plug in. But they've not done that, so we're going to have to wire these. So we will go through that, so don't panic about wiring. I'll talk you through it, and it'll all be all right. But I'm going to show you something with these lights early doors, so you can find out that your bulbs work. If you know your bulbs work, you know that later on in the build, if your thing isn't switching on, you know it's a problem with the wiring. So let's have a look and make sure these bulbs work. Okay, so taking our electrics, we don't need this. This is the battery box and the switch. Don't need this for a while yet. What I'm interested in is this one here and the shorter length of wire here. Now, there's a real simple way to test these without wiring up to the main box, but just to make sure you haven't got dud bulbs. This is where you know if there's a problem. It's the way it's wired, not the bulbs. So take in a button cell battery. We're going to remove our covers from the end of these wires. I'm going to expose that one. I'm going to expose that one. Okay, now quite simply separating the two, because I don't want them snug. Now I can never remember which is which, but what we're going to do is going to put that on the negative and that on the positive. There you go. So I know that works. So simply, I'm holding the red wire to the bottom, the black wire to the top. I know that bulb works. No matter what happens, I know the bulb works. We check the other one as well, do the exact same thing. So I'll take these covers off. It's a little, right. Take the red cover off there, take the black cover off there. Red on the bottom, and hold it, black on the top, and hold it. The bulb works. So no matter what happens, I know the bulbs work. So if this thing doesn't turn on, it's my error. It means either the battery's in the wrong way round, or I haven't turned it on, or I haven't wired it correctly. But these bulbs are not defective. I know they work. And that is a real simple thing you should do at the start of these, because as much as I can say to you, check your wire and check your batteries and whatnot, if you don't know if they were good to begin with, well, you don't know. So it's definitely a good tip to use. But let's get this one started. Okay, so to begin with, we need parts B, let's have a look, B11 and A1. Now, all of your sheets will be lettered. So we've got B, you can see all the different Bs there. B11 is the piece we need, which is this piece here. I'm just going to pop it out. So don't force it out, just you'll find the sweet spots. And out it will come. Sorry about that. There we go. So that's B11 out. I'm going to show you what I do with mine. I advise you do the same. You don't have to, but I advise you do the same. You will see there's a little sprue piece there where it's been on the frame. Just take your sandpaper, take it off. That's it. So all these pieces, just take those off. It's going to make life a lot easier later on. So any bits that's sticking up, there you go. You don't got to go mad with the sandpaper, but enough to clean it up. Now with the A1, screw to our A board, do the exact same thing, and we're going to pop out A from its frame. There we go. Same again, you see. So I've got a little sprue piece there. So take my sandpaper. I'm just going to sand that off, because we want this to fit smooth. So you don't want little sprigs of wood blocking that. Okay. So quite simply, going this way around, we're going to take our B piece here, and it's going to fit into these sections here. Don't need to glue this at this stage. It will tell you when you need to glue. So don't feel like you have to glue everything, because you don't. You should have glue left over at the end of this. There you go. Next thing we'll do is get the base, which is on C, and we're going to attach this to the base. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go on a little bit, and we'll do a page. We'll see what we get to, then we'll check back in. Okay, so this is how you should now be looking. We've built these really lovely little steps going up here. We've got this back wall on here as well. And this is how you should now be looking. There should be nothing left on your C board. So you should have used all the pieces on board C at this point to build the steps. This here. Now, we're going to make a door that's going to go up here. So I'm going to get the pieces for that and show you how that's done. So this is how I'll be doing mine. I used basically a bead method. I do spots. Because I don't need, as I said, you don't need tons and tons and tons of this. You just don't. The more you put on, the messier it'll look. Now, messy's not so bad with this one. I think because it's a greenhouse, you want to look a little bit rustic. Perfection is not what you're going for here. And certainly when it comes to book nooks, you want lived in and live effect. So again, it's not the end of the world if you get some glue on these. So now we've got the beads in. I'm just going to run them along, give it a nice coat into the entire outer edge, then a little at the bottom here. There we go. That's it. You don't have to go mad. Honestly, you really don't. But people absolutely slather. They go, I've got no glue left. I'm like, I wonder why that is. So line it down this way. We're going to take our glass and we're going to slot that one in. Let the glue do its job. Let the glue do its job, because you can see it's not going to hold without it. So now I'm going to put the door handle in. And again, this will dry clear as well, this glue. So don't worry about it being white. This glue is going to dry clear. I'm going to put a little splodge on the end like that. Then we're going to pop this in. Then we clean off the excess. But as I said, it will dry clear. It's not going to dry white. Let's get it right into the hole. There we go. And that's our handle in. Now we're going to allow it to dry. Just let it dry, and then we're going to move on to the next stage. Okay, now this is pretty much dry. We are going to be adding some card elements to this. Now, these are on your F card. Now, what these will do, these will just enhance this door. This will bring it a lot more to life, give it a bit more detail. Now, this piece here will fit around the frame. You can see there is an outline on this piece. So don't get any on the actual glass itself. You can either put it onto the card or you can put it onto the door. I'm going to put it onto the card. But again, don't go mad. I'm going to put enough that it'll hold, but not so much that it's smearing all over the place. So I don't want to. I want it to look as neat as possible. But again, at the same time, I don't mind a bit of muck because it's a greenhouse. I mean, immaculate greenhouses have you seen? Not many. Right. So that should hold nicely. Let's turn this one over. We'll pop this one on, line it up. And when it comes to the card elements of this, these bond quickly. So you don't have to wait as long as you did for your glass towel. But that's how that one will look. We then have another piece to go at the bottom. We do the exact same thing with this one, where we're going to glue this one up. And then we're going to add this to this section here. It's going to look lovely, look nice that way around. So again, just going to get the corners. There we go. Put touch there, touch there. Now I'm sure some of you look at this and go, but he's barely using glue. Yeah, because you don't need to absolutely cake this thing in glue. It's not load bearing. It's not going to be moving. It's not going to. You need to hold. That's it. It's not. You know, you're not supporting anything with it. It just needs to. It needs to adhere to this this piece here, and it'll do that. You know, it's not got to support anything. It's not going to stick to anything. I'm going to put that down. Let the glue do its work. Give that, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. That's going to set lovely. And then we'll install it to the actual the nook itself. Okay, so our door's nice and dry now. So we're going to install this one just up here. That's going to sit in these 2 pins here. And we're just going to squeeze it in. There we go. So that's our door in. Now we have 2 A24s to put in. Now these are only going to go in one way. They're a weird shape, but they're only going to go in one way. They're going to go in this way. So these are going to, whoop, are they? Scott talking nonsense. I think I'm talking nonsense. How do those go in? Let's have a look. That's how they go in. They don't connect to the bottom. So only one pin goes in. That's that pin there. So they go in like so. There's those. Then we have a single A28. I want to say it was. It is, and that's going to fit in on the end here. Like so. And again, don't put pressure on these things. Just, they will go in. Squeeze them down. You know? There we go. And that's how we need to be. Lovely stuff. Okay, now we're going to assemble this piece. Using this one here. Now this you'll find in your bag 1. That's what you need. Which way around is this going to go? Because it's going to have to be exact. Yep, that way around. So we're going to go this way on. So yours should look like that. And then this is going to, these 2 holes here are going to go onto our pins at the back here. Let me show you where this is going. So it's going over those, then it'll sit in the bottom pins there. Tie it up, squeeze it together. And that's how that one goes. Push it right down. I've got to sort mine out. I've got to get the pin straightened up. But we'll get that pushed in and take a look. Okay, we're going to add some of our card elements now and start to make this a little bit more decorative. So we're going to take our F2, that's this one here. It's going to go in this slot here. So that's just going to go push down. There we go. We're then going to take F4. And F4 is going to go into this slot at the back here. You can see there. So let's go and slot down there like so. And then we have finally F2. And that is going to sit, let's make sure I get this right way around. Yep. That's going to slot into there like, he says. You really don't want to force these with it being card. I'm going to persuade these in. There you go. Firm enough. Now, if any of yours aren't firm, if you're worried they're a little bit wobbly, put a tiny dash of glue on there. That'll be all right. But those are those 3 in. So we've got a couple more decorative elements. What we've done is we've built this planter around our plants at the back there. And we've added this watering can as well. It's looking lovely, right? Now, this is it for the immediate. So this together now is referred to as A. So when A is mentioned in the instructions, part A is this. We're going to move this to the side and we're going to start working on the back wall. Okay, so this is the back wall we're working on. Now taking over our sticker sheet, we want this one here. So I'm going to peel that one off and we'll get that one installed. I don't know how easy these peel off. The easier they peel off, the weaker the adhesive. So that's good. That feels like good adhesive, believe me. I'm a bit of an old hand when it comes to these from wallpaper in dolls' houses, believe it or not. So let's get this installed. Now this is going to be a one-shot deal, so I want to get this as straight as we possibly can. Okay, then just moving down Move that one over. There we are. Excellent. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take F20 and we're going to create a frame around the sticker we've just put on. So just again, not go mad with the glue. That's way too much. I'm going to use that out to advantage though. Cut that along there. Put it along here. And we just create a very thin coat of this because again, you don't need loads, honestly. That'll be about it, I reckon. Okay, so taking our frame piece here, this is F20. I'm going to put this on. Now don't worry if you get some squish at the sides. Like I said, this glue will dry clear, so you're not going to see it. So if you see it like white, thinking, oh my god, don't panic. Do not panic, everything's fine, I assure you. It will dry clear, you'll never see it. So that's how we're now looking. Now there is some more decorative elements we've got to add to this. So we've got an arrow that's going on there. We've got a frame we need to make. So we've got a couple of frames we need to make so we can get that done. I'm going to glue these pieces in and take a look what it looks like. Okay, so that's how you should now be looking. We've got these elements stuck to this. Looking lovely. We've got some more detail into this back wall. This is now going to attach to what they're referring to as piece A. So what we're going to do is marry these two together. Now quite simply, it's the pins there. We're going to fold this in and it's going to hold in place. So let's get that done. We'll take a look. So it's the back wall on. Next thing we're going to do is work it. Looking lovely, right? We're going to work on the sides. We've got some pieces to install on the side here. And then from there we are working more along this frame here. So I'm going to get that done and get this full page done. And we'll take a look. If there was any problems, I'll let you know what they were. Okay, so you can see what we've done. We've added these flowers to this. And these two side panels as well. And that is how you should be looking at this stage. Now we're going to install this to what they're now calling B, the main structure. Now you can see these two slots at the back. These posts here are going to slot into there, and then it's going to slot in down below. So we'll get that installed, but take a look at it. So once it goes in, they're slotted, so you should be able to push this down so it will sit flush with the floor, and that just locks that in place. It means it's not going to fall over if you move it or wobble or anything like that. That's now locked in. There you go. So that is now attached to the back wall. It's looking lovely already, this. It's looking really nice. Look how detailed that is. I'm actually incredibly impressed by this one. I didn't think I would be, but I am be. Right, let's move on to the next stage. So we built the front of the cabinet, and this was fairly easy. This is all parts in your P1 bag. Straighten that up a little bit. But these just all clip onto the front. You have the pins that go in the back, clip on the front. We made these little tubes here by sticking a sticker to an F16 and solid piece and just rolling them up. We have this sticker here that drapes over the drawing onto the back. Then it will just slots down into the front. And we've got this little trowel here that is just resting there now. Lovely. I think this is actually looking stunning, and it's gone together really easily compared to the other ones we've done. This has been incredibly simple. And now we do have a little piece that we're going to build to go in there, and some of A pieces. Get that done. We'll take a look. So we've created this rather lovely plant pot here. Now this plant here really isn't complicated to make. You have this tool that they provide. This slots into the bottom of the long strip, and then you just twist it. Curls it around, fits in there lovely, and that's why it doesn't need to be glued in. It fits in snug, and it's looking great. I'm really impressed with this. The detail in this one's lovely already. It really is, and I like this one a lot. Okay, so we made this very lovely little stand over here, all nice and simple. A lot of your card details, ticket details used in there, and it's all just pushed to fit. We glue the books in place, so it looks lovely. But what we are now arriving at is our first of the electrics. So all these parts come in bag 3. So all these parts to make this, what we're essentially making here is a lamp, come in part 3. So taking the rod, you're going to put the rubber washer on the end there, thread this through. So this is going to thread right through. Get up to about halfway, and now we're going to push the wire all the way through. Now there are 2 types of lights. You can see that one there. This is the smaller. Let me get the other one so we show what I'm talking about. You've got a fat bulb, you've got a thin bulb. You want the thin bulb for this one. So you're going to push the wire all the way through. So we're going to go all the way until we come out the other end. There we go. Now we're at the other end. Pull. So that is where you want to be. Okay, let's move on to the next stage. So this is what you'll be left with. So we put H43. Now this piece protruding at the end, you're using the same tool you've been using to wind the flowers. Using this end of it, you push through, so it measures the exact length it needs to come through there. Then our second washer goes on the top, this plugs in place, and the bulb slots into the lampshade. And that's it for now. So we're not wiring this as such yet. We've just made the lamp ready to wire. Let's move on. So we built this very nice pot and shelf next, nice and simple. Use some of the plastic flowers that go down there, and more of the detailing. Looks lovely. I mean, this nook is really going to give you what I like from a nook. Everywhere you look, you're going to see something else going on. I think that's a beautiful thing. Next thing we're going to do is make the rocking chair. So we get all the pieces of that together, and I'll show you how to put the rocking chair together. Okay, now with the rocking chair, you'll get this piece. Now you need to remove these. Now I use sprue cutters to do it myself, but you can do this with decent scissors. Just be smart about it. So it just, quite simply, we're taking these 3 pieces out. Like so. Like so. And then over here. Again. Then we just take it off the central sprue itself. Let's do that. There's 1. There's 2. And then finally, there's 3. So we've got those 3 pieces out. And that's as simple as it is to get those out. But just be careful if you're using scissors. Make sure they're sharp. Make sure you get to the edge and trim them out properly. Okay, so this is how you're going to begin the chair. This is push to fit. You don't need to glue this. Wiggle it down. So these will go in, but it's going to be snug. And you want it snug because you want it to hold. But wiggle. Don't put pressure on it. Get it right by the base and wiggle. It will eventually you'll find it go right through. So that's where we are with these ones. Next, we're going to use these 2 pieces here. We're going to extend off it, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is how you now should be looking at this stage. Just to give you an idea, if you're trying to force it into the holes at the end, no, that's how you should be looking. So that is normal. That's how you should look. Next, we are going to put on the main support. That's the arms of the main support. So that's our main support on. The next thing we do is the front support, which is this piece here. That's all that came off your sprue. Let's see if we can just get this on. I'm hoping this was going to go a lot easier than the others. That's my old eyes. I need to get this right in front of my face. Yeah, I have trouble doing it on camera because I have to literally hover this in front of my face because my eyes aren't what they used to be. There we go. I got it. There we go. So that's that one in. Now we're going to put the seat on. Okay, so now we've got the chair. We're going to make the cushions. Taking these 2 parts here. They advise to glue it. You don't need to. You really don't. I mean, look, it's gonna hold. If you really want to glue it, go ahead and glue it. But it's that firm. It's not going to come apart. You'd have to pry it apart with tweezers. But it's up to you. It's your choice. That's the pillow made. So there we go. There's our dress chair. So we've got our pillow and our blanket on our chair. And it's looking very comfy indeed. Very inviting for these old bones of mine, believe me. But you can, there's no rule of thumb to this. You can do whatever you want. Now, if you've got like blanket that's sticking up like this, it will eventually, it'll give. It's because it's firm and it's just come out of the box. You can moisten it slightly. That will help with this. But when it comes to doll's house size things, and fabric will never fall the way you want it to. It's not going to fall like a full-grown blanket. So you are going to have to manipulate it a little bit. There you go, like that. And happy with that. Let's move on. So we've added the elements we built so far. So now we've added the lampshade, which goes over here. We've added this flower pot here, and we've added the potting table here. We're now going to be working on the roof. So we're going to start work on the roof and the actual external frame that's going to create the greenhouse effect that we're going to have. So we've added our ceiling panel, and we started to add the flowers that are hanging down. Doesn't that look great? That's wonderful. We've done this part over here as well. So you're going to trim your tube to the correct size using the included ruler. The wire flows through. This is going to get some rigidity. So at the moment it's just hanging down, but we're looking good. We're looking really good. So we put some bits in, and we've added the boots there, and we've added this piece that we made. But we've also put in the glass panel here. So this is where this going to go. It's just going to sit over these tabs like so, and lock into place for now. We're going to firm that up shortly, but it's looking really nice. Okay, so we've now added both sides. Now these are easy. Don't be intimidated by this. You're just going to put the plastic window decal over, and then you're going to lock it in place with the side panels. And that is all you got to do to that. That's giving us the height now where our battery box and whatnot is going to go on our workings. So you can see where this is going to go. This is, I'll pull that's going to thread down there. That's going to be all pinned in place. Looking good, looking really good. Okay, we are moving on now. We are going to start doing some more decaling to the roof. Okay, so our roof section is pretty much installed again. It goes on the same as the side sections. This part's easy. Now we're on to our full wiring. So, having made this part, these are just B tabs pushed together. You will end up with this. Now you want the wire to come through here and through here. Next thing we're going to do is install this to the bottom of the book nook, and then we're going to wire the lights to the switch. Okay, so quite simply, we're going to take this black wire, this black wire, and this black wire, and we're going to twist the three together. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So this is what your three black wires twisted together will look like. And then we're going to take a piece of the electrical tape, tie it round, and secure that off. And we do the exact same thing with the three reds. We're going to connect the three reds together, and that is all you've got to do to connect these wires. It really is that simple. And there we go. That is this one complete. We've added the front part to here. We've added these plants as well. I've added the spade. We put the chair in. Now, I have noticed something that I completely missed. So I'm sure you'll recognise I've done it as well. Under the stairs, there was a brown panel that blocked off those stairs. Completely missed it. Now, without taking the whole thing apart, I'm not going to get it in there. So I don't think it hurts it at all. But don't be like me, don't miss yours. The chair blocks out any view of it, so it makes no odds to me, to be honest with you. But I think that looks absolutely lovely. Let's light it up, let's have a proper look at it. So that's that one done. Garden house is complete, and that is our 6th book nook in the range complete. All 6 are on the channel, so if you need help with any of them or you just want to see them, you can go see them on the channel. We do have a roundup of the 2022 book nooks, a review of the 4, which ones we recommend. That will be updated because I'm going to get the 3rd of the 2023 book nooks, which is the Shakespeare Library. That'll be on the channel very soon. So what do you think about that one? I really liked it. I'll be honest with you, I really liked it, and I didn't think I was going to. I was quite critical when I first saw this one released because, to me, it seemed like a Rolife room condensed into a book nook, and I couldn't be more wrong. That isn't what it is at all. It has got that style, but it's that company, so that's what you're going to get. But that's not what this is. I think this is nice as an addition to those book nooks. I think it's lovely. I think the opening window and things like that are unique to it as well. My critique of it would be the glass sides. As a book nook, it's supposed to slot into the shelf amongst your books, so you're never going to see through those glass sides. If you use it as a book nook, you wouldn't see through those sides. So I found that a little bit of an odd choice. When you could have done the same thing with like a shed, we could have had solid walls, but it is what it is. I mean, because again, you don't have to display it as a book nook. It can just be a standalone thing. So that would be my main critique of it. It was ridiculously easy to build. So of all the ones that I've built, that was by far the easiest. It really was. I think because the two glass walls aren't supporting anything. The other ones, there's something on every wall. So all 3 walls that you build, there is detailing all across the walls. With this one, because they can't put anything on those walls, it seemed a lot easier. It seemed a lot faster than the ones I built. Now, don't be deceived by how short that video was. This nook took me in total about 4.5, 5 hours, I'd say, in total. But that's quick compared to some of the others. Some of the others were looking at 6 to 8 hours. I don't think it's dumbed down by any means. I just think the nature of what it is, it goes together simpler. It just does. And maybe they found better techniques. There are better techniques in this one than I've seen in some of the others. Another critique would be the wiring. I find it very odd that they ask us to put all of that detail in, then turn the thing upside down. That seems really odd. You could have done that wiring much, much, much earlier in before you attached everything to it. So that seemed like an odd choice. But I liked it. I mean, I recommend it. I would. It's It's one that I kind of unfairly had the daggers out for because I thought I'm not going to like this one, but I really did. I really enjoyed it. So we will be getting the Shakespeare Library. Excuse me, that'll be coming up on the channel soon. I have got the Rose Detective Agency from a different brand. That's not from Rolife, that's from a different brand. And it's a book nook that's got movement inside of it. It's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes themed detective agency book nook. That'll be coming on the channel soon. If you enjoy the nooks, you really enjoy the Disney Doll's House, which is this on a much grander scale. So you can check those out on the channel. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps us massively. If you need any help with anything, you can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. But until then, in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I will see you very soon for more from Building the Boys. Thank you for stopping by.